Thank you, Gary. I am honored to be the chair of the Wichita Area Chamber of Commerce. It is truly an honor, and we look forward to working with elected officials, our partner organizations, and affiliates as we address our community's most pressing needs. You'll have to bear with me. I'm struggling with a little bit of a cold, but I think we'll trudge through just fine. At last year's Chairman's Lunch, we discussed the need for leaders to become more actively involved in shaping the future. We also revisited an important leadership example from our city's past. Pardon me. The Four Horsemen, you'll remember, with the Four Horsemen in their example of diverting the cattle drives that were going to bypass Wichita and redirecting them with incentives to be able to come to Wichita and to be able to ensure our economic success. The Chamber spent last year engaging new partners and strengthening some of our existing relationships in our quest to address what we still feel is Wichita's most pressing issue, the need to replace 20,000 jobs that we've lost in our most recent economic downturn. One of our most successful partnerships in 2014 involved working closely with the Wichita Downtown Development Corporation and the Wichita Community Foundation on an innovative new initiative called Fuel the Fire Speaker Series. These three organizations pooled their financial and personnel resources to host nationally recognized thought leaders and economic development experts for 3 separate speaking sessions that were free of charge and open to the public. The series focused on growing jobs, plain and simple. It was a successful catalyst for community discussions about changing the demographics that should shape our approach to recruiting and retaining the right workforce for our community. And I'd like you to help me recognize and thank those who worked to help develop and execute this series. Please remain standing as I call your name so that we can thank you for all of your efforts. From the Wichita Downtown Development Corporation, Jeff Fleur, Jamie Zellner, and 2014 Chair of WDDC, Sam Williams. In addition to that, from the Wichita Community Foundation, Shelley Pritchard, Courtney Looney, and Brian Black. Brian was the chair of the 2014 Board of Directors. And then from the Chamber, Susie Allstrand, Renee Anderson, Courtney Sendall, and Wayne Chambers, our 2014 Chamber Chair. Help me thank these people. Over 1,000 people attended the speaker series, and it inspired many examples of what the speakers shared about how we can address the challenges facing our community. The series ignited a community discussions and positioned Wichita for the future. There was so much interest in these topics that during one of the sessions, the Twitter handle, hashtag Fuel the Fire Speakers, or Fuel the Fire ICT, began trending, and I'm sure all of you were aware of that fact, right? But anyway, it was a great activity, and we've produced a very short video to try to capture the interest and the excitement generated by that series. So watch this with me.
I love the theme of this series, Fuel the Fire. This is exactly the right moment for cities to be fueling the fire because cities are gaining momentum all across America.
In 2020, there will be more workers in Wichita 55 plus than there are workers in the peak earning years between 35 and 54. And in the US economy, where 70% of the economy is consumer spending, that means a recession, continued recession for Wichita, unless there is growth and bringing in more people in peak earnings years.
If you're not making the development, attraction, and retention of talent your #1 economic development priority, I would say you need to rethink your priorities.
The US economy has basically transitioned from a manufacturing-driven economy to an innovation-driven economy.
Companies are moving where young talent is. There's a limited supply of these millennials, these 20 to 35-year-old millennials with those skills that match up well with the jobs that are being created.
Those places that are attracting and keeping talent are places with vibrant core cities. And that's mixed use, mixed income, walkable, bikeable, transit-served neighborhoods with lots of street life.
It's time to figure out what is the innovation that works for Wichita.
Wichita State, they produce a lot of engineers. You've got a manufacturing heritage in this city. We've got this agricultural context. There's got to be a formula there where this becomes a hotbed for innovation with the ingredients that you already have.
So you can sit here and say, well, let's see if it happens, or you can decide to be part of that process. It is remarkable what a motivated group of people can do to make a huge difference in the community.
And I hope out of this series will coalesce a real sense of Wichita's future and what you need to do together to make that future happen.
That's great stuff. If you missed the series, I'd urge you to watch it by going to fuelthefirespeakerseries.com. Each speaker really hit the mark in stressing the urgency of our situation in our community and to be able to provide thought-provoking ideas and solutions. We know we're lagging behind many of our peer cities, and we know we need to grow more jobs. Last year, the Chamber's lunch panel discussed the need to catch up on our economic growth. And this year, we'd like to continue that conversation and include some new voices in that discussion. In fact, that's the Chamber's focus this year, to build on the new partnerships established or strengthened in 2014 and become even more inclusive in 2015. We firmly believe that all parties should have a voice and a seat at the table and engage in the process of finding solutions for our community's most challenging challenges. The world is much too competitive and the stakes are too high for us not to do that. Even if we can't reach some consensus about the best solutions, we can all agree in one thing, that we're united in moving Wichita forward.